Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our generally scheduled board meeting on March 5th, 2025. At this time, can we please have roll call?
Trustee Hodges.
Present.
Trustee Flores.
Present.
Trustee Young.
Present.
Vice President Amboy.
Present.
President Fox.
Present.
Trustee Morales.
Present.
Trustee Simmons.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. At this time, reports of action taken in closed session. In closed session, under agenda item 3B, the board voted to release and reassign a permanent classified administrator pursuant to Education Code Section 44951. The vote was 5-0. Do I hear a motion for adoption of agenda? Trustee Flores.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Trustee Hodges.
Second.
Call, please.
Trustee Hodges.
Aye.
Trustee Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Young. Vice President Amboy.
Aye.
President Fox.
Aye.
Trustee Morales.
Aye.
And Trustee Simmons.
Aye.
The motion passes.
For presentations, Highland Elementary and Cave Language Academy.
Our first school up, I believe, is Highland.
Welcome.
Good evening, Superintendent Aurelio, esteemed board members, and guests. My name is Danita Robbins, and I am the proud principal of Highland Elementary, and I have with me two of my student leaders, and we are here to tell you about the wonderful things that are happening at Highland. As you can see, this is our strategic pillar and our portrait of a graduate. This is something that we strongly stand behind at Highland Elementary. We post it in our school. We share it with our community leaders. We share it with our families, our parents, and our students. And this is our North Star at Highland Elementary. And as I present, I will be sharing different aspects of these pillars. Highland has several community partners. One of our partners is the Vallejo Rotary Club, and every year they donate dictionaries to our third grade students. This year we were fortunate enough that they gave us a new donation of tennis shoes for our student population. If there's any members here of the Rotary Club, I want to say thank you. To the right, we have a picture of our old field. We had very little to no grass, and this year we have been gifted grass. We're so excited to have this new plush grass, and we thank the operations team for their hard work. Our students are very excited to play on the grass. This year, Highland had the opportunity to participate in a basketball tournament district-wide, and I am very pleased to say that we won both championships for our 3rd and 4th grade division and our 5th and 6th grade division. Very proud of our students. We have focused our efforts to use data to drive instruction and increase student outcomes. We celebrate our students who have been in our SIPS programs and who have graduated. This year, 8 students were exited. In addition, we have 8 students who are EL language learners. They moved from our Foundations of Sounds and Phonics group into a SIPS group. I'm very pleased with all the things that are happening at Highland. And now I want to bring up my first student speaker, Leilani.
Good Good evening, Superintendent Aurelio, board members, and guests. My name is Leilani, and I am proud to be a leadership student at Highland Elementary. At Highland, we have an amazing school filled with fun, kindness, and creativity. Our principal, Miss Robbins, is always there for us, making sure both students and staff feel supported and appreciated. She helps make Highland a school where we feel safe, happy, and excited to learn. Being in student leadership is a fun and exciting way for 4th through 6th graders to make a difference at school. Leaders get to collaborate on fun projects like planning spirit weeks and special theme days, helping with assemblies, and even making important decisions that impact our classmates. We truly enjoy setting a great example for others while working together to bring school events to life. Plus, we play a big role in getting students excited to come to school every day by creating a positive and engaging environment. We help deliver attendance incentives to classes with the highest attendance. Whether we're organizing activities, boosting school spirit, or coming up with creative ideas, leadership is a great way to have fun, build confidence, and make school a better place for everyone. One of the coolest things coming up at Highland is our Animation Academy Club, facilitated by Miss Orabani. Before spring break, students will have the chance to learn different sketching techniques and develop their creativity. It's a great way for students who love art to explore their talents in a fun and engaging way. Another thing that makes Highland special is our library. Miss T, our library of media tech, makes visiting the library an exciting experience. She reads to us, decorates the library for holidays, and always makes sure we have the best books to choose from. Reading helps us expand our imagination and improve our vocabulary, and discover new ideas that we might not experience otherwise. We also have tutoring on campus, which is a great resource for students who want extra help in their learning. Tutoring helps us strengthen our skills, feel more confident, and do our best in school. Highland is more than just a school. It's a community where students can lead, learn, and grow. I'm so proud to be a part of this one incredible school. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Leilani, and I'd like to bring up Genesis.
Good evening, Superintendent Aurelio, board members, and guests. My name is Genesis, and I feel honored to be a leadership student at Highland Elementary. I'm here to tell you about the amazing things happening at our school and why they matter to us. When we need a little break, we could go visit our wellness center with Miss Tam. It's a quiet, calming space where students can relax, play games, read, or even talk with friends. Sometimes we all need a moment to reset, and Miss Tam makes sure we have space to do just that. So we can go back to class feeling refreshed and ready to learn. Recess is another part of our day that we all love. We have a lot of games to play, but what makes it even better is Alivo. Staff members from Alivo come to set up structured games for everyone, making recess more engaging and for all students. This program helps us build teamwork, sportsmanship, and problem-solving skills, all while having a great time. After school, students can join Expanded Learning Program, where students can complete homework, get extra help with subjects we need, and learn new things in a fun and safe environment. It's a great place to make friends, gain new skills, and keep learning, even after school days end. Speaking of Expanded Learning, they have a basketball team, where they get to go to other schools to compete. How fun is that? Highland Elementary has a brand new field, and our students couldn't be more excited for this fresh green space. Gives them the perfect place to run, play, and enjoy recess like never before. From soccer games to Simon Says and everything in between, our students now have a great and safe and beautiful area to stay active and have fun. We are so grateful for the amazing additions to our school and can't wait to see all the memories that will be made in our new field. Highland is a place where students feel inspired, supported, and excited to learn every day. With a strong leadership, school spirit, and a community that works together, and we are creating a positive and welcoming environment where every student can thrive. Thank you.
And we'd like to say thank you for listening to our presentation. I'm honored to lead Highland Elementary. I have children like this. I'm very pleased with them. Thank you so much.
Trustee Flores?
Thank you for your presentation. I do want to comment on that basketball championship game. My son's team was the team he played, and that game was decided in the last 30 seconds. The joy and the sorrow, because that's what we're trying to teach the kids, right? Somebody's got to win, someone's going to lose, you know. My son left there in tears. Highland left it, you know, in cheers. So it's a wonderful experience that was provided, you know, all those weekends that we had. But I just had to mention that, you know, next time. But with that, I wanted to ask these two leaders, what do you guys want to do when you grow up? What do you gals want to do when you grow up?
I want to be with what my dad does, which is a farrier, and he puts horseshoes on horses.
When I grow up, I want to work. It's like a place where you make your own food and give to homeless people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and thank you for being here tonight. We hope to hear from you again, ladies, and hear your journey as you grow. Thank you. Our next school presentation is now from CAVE, Language Academy.
We have Principal Hernandez. I do see someone in the audience. Where is he? Brian, who was a movie star who I met this summer. And Brian and I were, he was one of my cast members in a Welcome Back to School video. Do you remember me, Brian? All right.
Well, I'm proud principal and now 14th year of Cave Language Academy. So proud to have been tapped to open the school and bring about the first dual immersion in Vallejo. So I first wanted to greet all of you and thank you, President John Fox, Vice President Glenn Amboy, Dr. Latanya Young, trustee, Carlos Flores, and Mr. Dean Hodges. Thank you guys for having us here. It's always nice to bring the students in and be welcomed by our community and, of course, our superintendent, Aurelio. Mr. Aurelio, which is wonderful. One thing that I realized is being part of Cave Language Academy has allowed me to feel the roots and grow from there of a very multicultural community. And I think that we're more and more represented by that. And at Cave Language Academy, we wanted to start off with one of our key components, which is the pillar number 1, equitable opportunities, equitable outcomes. And through our awards assembly, one thing that we first and foremost tell all students and all staff is 90% of success is showing up, right? And that's part of that. The parent engagement part is early to set attendance. For an immersion program, our secret sauce is the immersion, right? And without that, then students are unable to reach our goals of being biliterate and bilingual. And so that's something that I think I asked one of my families here present. I said, did you guys get that message since I first started to school? And they said, yes. We cannot duplicate this program outside of the school. So attendance is critical. So since, you know, the first kinder and pre-kinder meetings, that's what I let them know. It is a more rigorous program and attendance is key. So I'm happy to say that our attendance has always been very good and we try to keep it at a high end just to get that chronic absenteeism trend. As you guys can see, we're still recovering, currently at 15% and hoping to get it back to the 9% that we were used to before that. Because of course, without that, it wouldn't be dual immersion. The Spanish portion of it is not just critical for our English speakers learning a second language, it's also critical for our EL students needing the immersion in English. So what we found through the pandemic is it's both students benefit. So our multi-tiered, we have also a guest here, our multi-tiered support system and allocation of resources. We're completely data-driven because as I started the school, one thing I wanted to make sure is that it's a school that's successful for all students. And the only way we do that is being data-driven. And that's been our, we've been doing the same thing for 14 years, very data-driven, so that we can identify students in the younger grades. Our goal is by second grade that they'll be reading at grade level in Spanish, and then 3rd through 8th is in English. So it's ambitious, but our kids step up to the plate over and over again. Student success team, of course, meetings are important, 504s, individualized education plans, our Hey Tutors, all these are very identified in early ages as much as possible. Our TAs as well as our TK and kinders using their non-prep time to support. And I wanted to introduce part of our school's mission, and a lot of the dual immersions in California and the Bay Area are what we call heritage maintenance schools. So they may look like they're predominantly Latino, but a lot of the families have lost the connection to their ancestry through the language. And so our 50-50 lottery of Spanish speakers to English speakers is because a lot of these families have their children no longer speak the language, and some of these are in our, in San Francisco, they have Mandarin, a lot of those dual immersion schools, as well as our heritage maintenance schools. And what's lovely is, you know, I come from a family that was half of us born here, half in another country. We have a lot of our students that are also multicultural. And so this connection is that much harder. I have when the parents don't speak the primary language and they're wanting to connect. So we have lovely person here, Ms. Carcamo is our academic support provider who's going to help present our student who epitomizes what I'm talking about. So Ms. Rebecca Carcamo is our new academic support provider, and she's awesome. She's done a wonderful job, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her roots in Vallejo.
Thank you. Good evening, Superintendent and board members. My name is Rebecca Carcamo. I am an academic support provider for Cave Language Academy. I am also a proud VCUSD alumni. I grew up here. I have strong roots in Vallejo, so I went to elementary, middle, and high school, all within VCUSD. And I wanted to take this opportunity to say what an honor and a privilege it is to be able to come full circle to first being a student of VCUSD, to becoming an employee of VCUSD, and to be able to give back to the community that once gave to me. And in the spirit of community, I wanted to take this time to extend a heartfelt appreciation to all of our parents, our guardians, our family members, whose collaboration with our dedicated teachers and staff play such an essential role in fostering a strong and thriving school community. Thank you to all of our teachers and staff who consistently work together to ensure that our school remains a safe and nurturing learning environment, which is a strong reflection on Pillar 2. Our teachers and staff unwavering dedication helps ensure that our students are striving for academic success. And to touch a little bit more on that, I wanted to acknowledge our student speaker for the evening. She is a wonderful, intelligent fourth grader who is eager to share with you all what it means to be a student at CAVE and how the ability to be bilingual is a superpower she is proud to possess. So with great pleasure, I introduce to you Emma Roberson.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos. My name is Emma Vasquez Roberson, and I am a proud biracial fourth grade student at Cave Language Academy. I am the daughter of an African-American father, Justin, y una madre mexicana americana, Liz. Hoy quiero hablar de algo muy importante para mí, the importance of learning two languages to honor and maintain culture, and it's a pretty cool superpower because I can speak English y cambiar a español sin ningún problema. First, growing up in a family with two different backgrounds, I learned that language is more than just words. Nos conecta con nuestra historia, tradiciones y seres queridos. My family speaks English, but my ita and ito, which is short for abuelita and abuelito, mama chayo, and other extended family members speak Spanish. Al aprender el español en la escuela, puedo hablar con ellos y me hace sentir más cerca de mi cultura y tradición. I love that I can read books, tell stories, and celebrate holidays in both languages. En segundo lugar, hablar dos idiomas me ayuda a hacer más amigos. At my school, we all learn together no matter what language we speak at home, which makes our school un gran familia. Finalmente, ser bilingüe me ayudará en el futuro. I can talk to more people, learn about different cultures, and even have more job opportunities one day. Pero lo más importante, me hace sentir orgullosa de quién soy y de dónde vengo. Attending Cave Language Academy is an amazing experience y estoy muy agradecida de ser parte de eso. Thank you, muchas gracias.
Super proud. She comes from a family of stars, as you saw with Brian. You know, they're just charismatic. But she really epitomizes what I was hopeful, bringing a dual immersion to Vallejo, because we are multicultural and we language is a bridge, you know, between all of us, and hoping that we join all our communities and be able to celebrate, you know, and learning someone else's language is multiculturally making connections, you know, to your own as well. And so it makes me proud. So our pillar 2, which is safe and supported learning environments, we're so happy that Vallejo is moving towards. I have a new psychologist that works in Los Angeles school area that told us that she was very impressed by our MTSS in Vallejo and at our school, and our ability to have so many layers of supports for students. And this starts with the mental health support provider, which is wonderfully helps us enable the Kamochi classes throughout, that we meet weekly on and look at trends. And then she goes in and she's able to, you know, talk about all the issues with all classrooms with a great program. Our academic support provider wonderfully offers supports when students are struggling. And we have clinical staff members that do groups and one-on-ones and social skills groups, as well as a school-wide Leader in Me program that helps connect also the feelings part of the Kamochis and being able to get in touch with the person, social emotional learning, as well as the empowerment of leadership that helps them. So those two marry well. And the wellness rooms are also a wonderful addition at all our schools. And hopefully this will carry on. And success by design is what I say that we have at Cave Language Academy. It's been by design for 14 years that we've been building on models. And currently our Pillar 3, Vibrant Culture of Teaching and Learning, this year on our CAS scores, state was 13.2 points below standard. Cave was at a 5.5 below standard. So, and in mathematics, the state was at 47.6 points below standard, and Cave was at a 23.7 below standard. So, so learning 2 languages at a young age scientifically just makes it more malleable for, you know, those the other learning. And our English learner progress indicator as well is for the state was 45.7, and here's where we need to do some work, where we went to a 48. So I don't like to just say that things are all rosy. There's always more work to be done. So, but we did have a very outstanding redesignation last year. And thank you. And lastly, community-centered education, of course, is connecting and rooted in Vallejo community. Leveraging our community and our student success through, like they said, okay, yes, we lost. But, you know, I'm happy to say that we have Coach Roberson here who's helped support and start and help fuel our program, our intramural sports, and our after-school expanded program. as well as we have all the other parent networks and school site council. So again, very proud. And I remember standing here 14 years ago or 15 years ago presenting the school to the board, and I'm happy to say that we're 550 strong and growing. So thank you all for your support, and thank you to my families and my peers for always being very supportive. So thank you. Lastly, lastly is our portrait of a graduate. So this is a young lady that sent me a letter and let me know that what was really touching, she says, I have taken pride in being an Asian American and being able to speak Spanish. And she said that one of her honors that made her Student of the Month at her school was mentoring a newcomer from Guatemala. So she was able to have skills enough to do that. One of our graduates, Diego Bon, said for us that attending CAVE gave him a unique advantage on how he views the world and has helped him as a what I call a Guamanian and Mexican ancestry, helped him build strong academic skills, such as the ability to think critically in 2 languages, which is helping him excel in his political science courses with a pursuit of becoming an immigration lawyer. He's in college now. So that's the end, because I think that in the end is what we want. We want our students to go out into the community to make it a better place. So thank you guys for your support and for all that we do together here in Vallejo. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Trustee Flores.
Thank you again for your presentation. I think there's a question for both you and Superintendent Aurelio regarding the bilingual program. Do you have I was looking this up, the Elementary School Biliteracy Attainment Award. Do you know if it's part of the biliteracy seal, but just at the elementary school level? So I'm wondering if that's something that we could, if you would be interested in looking at bringing into the district, or excuse me, into your school, just as a way to help kind of keep promoting that up, because the ultimate goal, right, is to get that biliteracy seal when they get out of high school. And I know a couple years back when I went to the CSBA conference, they were saying you can tailor these certificates and awards at those lower levels to meet whatever criteria. If it's something like that they're able to understand, then a certain amount of phrases or words, and then they'll get awarded this or that. But anyhow, it's part of the state seal biliteracy program, and I'm just wondering if it's something that maybe you might want to look into, just to kind of help the kids as they're going, just kind of continue to recognize their achievements within it, because that's one thing I heard that you said that really hit right here, was that you said that the students step up to the challenge. That's awesome to hear, that the students step up to the challenge. That's what we want. But yeah, so again, that's something with you. And
it can be, sorry to interrupt, but it's also something that can be at every school, because I know these fabulous young ladies here are bilingual as well, and so they have that superpower, and I think it's available to all schools, not just dual immersions, so that they can have those. And yeah, these are our portraits of the graduate did have the seal of biliteracy. Yeah. So that was wonderful, and I think they do have, you can do it in 5th and in 8th grade, so that's a wonderful opportunity. We'd love to.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you.
And then the last thing, I'd like this young lady to let me know, what is she thinking about in the future? Because I don't know if you all noticed, tonight we've had the level of a public speaker, the way you all have carried yourself has been just amazing. I mean, if you all don't know, this is probably the biggest fear that adults have, and that's speaking in public, and the 3 of you have come up and just nailed it, So I'd like to know what are you thinking about doing in the future?
quieras hacer cuando seas grande? ¿Qué es lo que quieres ser cuando seas grande?
When I grow up, I want to be a librarian because I want people to learn how to read and mostly a lot of languages, especially Spanish. Also, I want to be a librarian because I love reading books and I want people to love reading books as well.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing all three of you at some point sitting right up there.
Thank you very much for being here, and please come back and tell us a lot more. Next on our agenda, our forum, interagencies. Do we have any reports? 7B, VEA. Do we have a report from VEA? CSEA. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Board and Superintendent. My name is Ashley Steffens. I am the Workers' Compensation Specialist here at the district. I have worked with the district for 10 years. I have been a part of the E-Board for approximately 3 years. Tonight, we would like clarification between the 25-26 staff reduction list, which was voted on at the last meeting over at Bear Island, and tonight's proposed Resolution 5036. We would like to know if Resolution 5036 is an addition or a replacement to the jobs that were agreed upon at the last meeting. The jobs listed in the two documents are different. First, there are additional positions. The positions are Child Development Associates, Head Custodian, After-School Coordinators, Expanded Learning Assistants, and Student Nutrition Workers. Also, some of the positions that were included in the budget reduction list have added more FTEs. For example, our site safeties went from 4 to 8. We would also like to know about where the AB 1200 or 1200 report is to justify the cost savings. In addition, we would like to point out that at the last meeting, there was a dollar amount associated with our staff reductions. There is no dollar amount associated or included with our Resolution 5036, even though there is an increase of the number of staff being laid off. We understand that there is a March 15 deadline to inform employees that they are going to be laid off, but our union president has been inundated with union members requesting information on their bumping rights and next steps. Currently, we know what positions are being laid off, but we don't know who is being laid off. Our union members do not have the time to wait because some of them are sole providers for their families and they're also breadwinners. We understand that this is a process, but we would like accurate information to provide to our unit members. Thank you.
Thank you. We have anyone here from VSMA? SMA. Report of District Advisory Committee. Union members. Okay. Student representatives, who would like to go first?
Trustee Simmons.
Good evening, everyone. I'll start by mentioning that this Friday, Trustee Morales, the student delegates, and I are going to head to Washington, D.C. We're going to leave on Friday, and we should be back by, Tuesday. I'm really excited to go to Washington, D.C. and meet meet our Congress people. I have a plan to talk to at least 3 of them and have them come to our schools and speak, especially to our government classes. Today, I went to one of the AP government classes at my school, and I asked them, hey, guys, who do you want to come to this classroom and speak? And I got a list of a few people from the history teacher that I should talk to. So I'm excited for that. I found out about a program today called Voices, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. So Voices is a nonprofit center for youth 12 to 26 years old, even though 26 is not youth, but listen. The program started as a way to help foster youth, to help them get mental health support, homework help, and to help them transition out of foster care and to get jobs and education. But now it's like expanded. Even if you aren't in foster care, like if you're just a quote unquote troubled youth, like if you're homeless, if you just need help, like if you have substance abuse issues, Voices can help with that. This organization helps protect youth and help them be successful, so I thought this would be a great resource to share with families and community of Vallejo, just in case you know anyone who needs help transitioning. So if you want more information about that, just go to voicesyouthcenter.org. There are 3 branches. The most recent branch opened up in Vallejo, so that's cool. The Theta Pi chapter is holding a talent search on April 12th for the high schools. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all 3 high schools in Vallejo. They're coming to Jesse Bethel for sure. They're looking for singers, actors, and anyone with talent, and the reward will be $500. No. To reduce chronic absenteeism, the high schools are having a competition. It's called Dunk on Absenteeism, March Madness Attendance Tournament. So every Friday, admin will draw names from a pool of students with perfect attendance for the week, and they'll get like a certificate and a goodie bag. We are competing with Vallejo High, Trustee Morales, and John Finney to win the championship and have more students at school this month than them. I'm excited for that. I won't be getting the reward because I don't have perfect attendance, guys. Sports are going well, though. Tennis has a game today, and they had a game yesterday. Badminton had a game yesterday. We lost terribly against Hercules. And track, today we're going to El Cerrito. I'm not in El Cerrito, but I'm on the track team. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Morales. What's happening at Vallejo High?
Okay. So on my report, I just want to start off by there's going to be some future events that we are going to have, and there's 3 names for this event, but I'm just going to name them all. So the first one is Financial Literacy Day. That's the first. This one's the main one, Generational Wealth Day, and Mad City Money. Those are all the names. I'm assuming Generational Wealth is the most recent one. So it's happening on March 21st in the East Gym, presented by Travis Credit Union. So how this will work, it'll be 8:30 to noon. So at 8:30, so this is going to be targeted for the seniors. So 8:30 in the auditorium, seniors will be there getting a presentation from Travis Credit Union. And so this is something fun we're going to do. We're going to have leadership students, 9th, 10th graders, supporting or just being there to help set up. And we are going to have them, I believe our leadership or the school is going to have them to do a field trip form, like and then they're going to have just so we know who they are, they're going to have wristbands and a special thank you for a lunch special for just thanking them for help. And at 9 to 10:15, they're going to have seniors will be having a financial educational presentation. And after that one, we're going to be walking to the East Gym to do a reality check activity from 10:25 to 11:45. And after that, we're going to have an award ceremony from 11:45 to 12 p.m. The next thing is, so the day after our previous meeting, I went on a field trip to Sac State with our engineering academy advisor, Ms. Brown. So in that field trip, we had a tour around a certain building where they just do a lot of stuff with engineering, such as what is it called? Welding. I did that 2 years ago in my engineering class. We took a field trip to Solano County community, and we did welding with a professor, which was really fun. I wish we were able to do it on the trip, but there was about 80 students at the trip. So, and I believe the day after that trip, Ms. Brown had a STEM activity with students in her class where they've been doing this activity for a while now, but they built a shed in one of the little rooms they have in the school. I saw the shed. I wasn't in the room, but I can see the shed from outside of the classroom, it's really big. The next thing I want to talk about is last week I had a trip with the UCSF Upward Bound program. Advisors Coach Divine, or Coach D, Divine Cooper, that's his name. And we went to UC Davis with, I believe, it was a short field trip, or a short amount of students who went on the field trip. We had a presentation talking about the opportunities in UC Davis, and they'll be having a new major coming up for people who want to major in business. And we also had a tour of the campus, which was amazing. It was a beautiful campus. And when we were taking the tour, there were so many squirrels. They were just everywhere. They were on the grass. They would even be near us. They would be near the students who were there eating. It was really great. And fun fact, it's a bicycle school, so everywhere you go, you're going to see people on bikes. You're going to see there's like a lot of places to put your bike, just so no one, it was really nice. And for our spring sports this year, we are having baseball, softball, track, boys volleyball, boys tennis, badminton, golf, and swimming. And this week we had our clubs take photos for the yearbook, and those clubs were, I'm just going to name all of them. So we have 20 clubs. So we have the Jesus Club, Drama Club, Red Hawks Culinary Club, Chess Club, Craft Club, LGBTQ and Friends Club, VHS C and BT Club, Skills USA, Skills USA, fun fact, I believe they're going state for their competition. Model United Nations, Filipino Club, Health Leadership Club, California Scholarships Federation Club, Film Club, Leo Club, Outdoor Club, Black Student Union Club, Key Club, Book Club, and Club Stride. And so we just got our prom theme, and prom is going to happen on April 19th. The prom theme is the Oscars, so it's really nice. And just so in our school we have PBIS bucks, which you can use to buy merch at the school. And for the prom, we are putting the number at 2,000 PBIS bucks. We also like to call them bond bucks, or vice president, or vice principal, and so on. And I don't have the numbers for the merch, but it's in the hundreds or something like that. And we are also having our senior trip on May 29th, which is on a Thursday, to Universal Studios. And as Trustee Simmons was talking about, we are having our March Madness, which us, Vallejo, we are going to dunk on absenteeism for the top 27 students with the least amount of tardies or unexcused absences. We'll be able to take a field trip. For the students who win, we'll be able to take a field trip to San Francisco to learn a ropes course, where they will learn confidence and leadership skills and just have fun in general. Also for March Madness, a competition with all the schools is, I believe it's all the schools, but we're going to try to beat you guys. We are going to just have a friendly competition to see who has the least amount of unexcused tardies and absences overall in the school. We are also having, I believe this is also for Bethel and, yeah, I think it's Bethel. We are having a 5v5 basketball tournament from March 4th to the 20th, where any student from Bethel or Vallejo can participate in. And I just want to give a personal note. So as a senior, I had to apply to certain universities around. So right now I am waiting on I'm on the waiting list for UC Riverside. I'm hoping to hear back from them. And also this month, UC Davis is sending out their forms, just letting you know who got in and all that. So that's the main university I want to go to. So we'll see what happens. And that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Any questions for our student trustee? Do we have a report from John Finney or an emailed report as requested a few months ago? Can we have one for next month, please, from someone? Thank you. Or next meeting, if we could. Thank you. Where are we now? Consent. So we're on agenda item 8A through L. Do I hear a motion? Trustee Flores.
Motion to adopt consent items 8A through 8L.
Trustee, Vice President Amboy.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
And Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
The motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Right, thank you. Information, Measure S bond, 9A.
So Assistant Superintendent Mitch Romeo with our consulting partners are pleased to provide information on our most recent Measure S Bond Series sale. We are very pleased with the results of the sale. Thank you, Mr. Romeo. Or who's going up first?
Superintendent Aurelio, I think you said it all, so I'll just turn it over to Keith Weaver. We're very pleased with the results of our sale. Keith?
Hi, good evening. Thanks again for having me here tonight. Just a very brief update for you on the results of our Measure S bond sale, which preview, we think it went fantastic. So if we could go to the next slide. Oh, there we go. So it's a really quick update on our process in terms of how we went about selling the bonds, and then share our results, and then some brief update on some next steps. So in terms of process, we, as usual, incorporated several best practices as published by the Government Finance Officers Association. They primarily involve around things like competition and helping manage costs to help us get the best deal possible. Our credit rating process, we went to Moody's Investor Service to obtain a credit rating, and the really good news here was that Moody's affirmed and maintained our credit rating at A1. Bit of a question mark because, as you know, we certified our budget as qualified, and took some discussions with Moody's, but I think they recognize 2 really important factors in our district. One is that our economy is very, has a lot of prospects with a growing tax base as well as potential for future development. And then also they recognize our commitment, our district's commitment to maintaining financial stability. And so that was really important, and that helped us maintain our credit rating. If you go to the next slide, this is a chart showing how our credit rating has changed over time. And I just want to share, this goes back about 20 years, and for many years our credit rating was bouncing around at fairly low levels. It was also withdrawn for several years because at the time the district wasn't able to provide adequate financial information. And then in 2017, which is about 1 year prior to Measure S, we were able to obtain an A1 credit rating, and the district has maintained that credit rating all throughout the Measure S bond program. So that's been a really important factor in driving our success. Now, in terms of process, we went out to competitive bid on February 19th, did everything we could to encourage competition, and the hope is that the more competition we get, the more banks and lenders and underwriters that want to bid on our bonds, the better results that we'll get for the district. And this next chart is showing a benchmark interest rate index, and it goes all the way back to the beginning of the Measure S bond program. And what I like to point out is that when we last sold Measure S bonds in 2023, interest rates based on this index were about 3.5%. And they've gone up since then. They went up to about 4.25%. But the good news is that we budgeted for higher interest rates, and the index came in below our budget. So that was nice to see, that we were conservative enough to have this result below budget. And then the other thing that we think was important is that we timed this bond sale when it was a very light day in the marketplace. We were the only public agency, school district, city, county in California that was issuing bonds competitively on this particular day. And everybody else on this calendar was from other states around the nation, but we were the sole focus in California. So we think that helped get us, the district, more attention because there wasn't a lot of other school districts going out and selling bonds. And so in terms of the results, if you go to the next slide, you can see we had 12 firms bid from around the nation. This is really tremendous. We had a few in the Midwest. We had a whole bunch of firms from New York. We had a couple from the South. And you can see there's names big and small. These are national firms you probably know of, but also several smaller firms you may have never heard of before. So really nice competition. Now, 12 bids, you might wonder, is that a lot? Well, the table on the left is showing the number of bids we've gotten on our past bond sales, and you can see that it's never been as high as 12. 12 is a record for the district. On the right is a statewide comparison, and we have assisted with over 400 competitive bids around the state, school districts big and small, up and down the state of California. And what I'd like to highlight is the district's dozen bids was in the top 4% of what we've seen. So that's really tremendous for this district to be in such a high tier of bid results. And why so good? Again, it was the only offer on that sale day. Our bond amount, so $51 million. That was good for the regional players. It was good for the national players, banks big and small. And then finally, our really good credit rating. That A1 credit rating was really helpful. And so here's the results. Again, a dozen firms bid, and the interest rates proposed range from just below 4% all the way up to about 4.2%. And the difference in bids was tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, all the way up to, I think, $1.4 million. So that's really sort of shows the advantage of even sort of small changes in interest rates can make a really big impact on our bond program. The winning bidder was JP Morgan. And then we can go to the next slide. So that's the interest rates. This is now showing costs. And you can see we issued $51 million of bonds as planned. And we had budgeted for several costs, and across the board, the actual costs came in below budget, which is really good to see. So while we had suggested to Mr. Romeo, we budget $49.9 million for facilities funds, the district ended up getting $50.5 million. So that's an improvement into our facilities program of over $600,000. So another nice, really nice benefit to our Measure S bond program. And then on the tax levy side, so this is a chart showing tax levies. Again, prior to the Measure S election, the estimate was $60 per 100,000 of assessed value. This past year came at $48, and we're estimating going forward it'll be hovering around $46 to $47. So well below that estimate pre-election, and this will be a really nice benefit to our district's taxpayers. And then just to recap, this is our last round of Measure S bonds, and just to kind of summarize, from beginning to end here, how things have gone. The district ended up getting over $2 million more into the facilities program to help with facilities projects. The district received the funds 2 years faster to accelerate projects, so that's great for our students who get the benefit of our facilities. It's also great for avoiding cost inflation in the construction. And then finally, lower debt service of $36 million for taxpayer savings. So we think just all around, Measure S has been a great success financially, and it's helped our facilities program, it's helped our students, and it's helped our taxpayers. So in terms of next steps, again, a big congratulations. We also, just this morning, closed the financing, so those funds are now in the district's account at the county treasury and ready to go toward our facilities program. And so, again, we think it's a tremendous result, really happy to see the results, and want to thank you, and happy to take any questions.
Questions? Thank you very
Okay,
much for
very
your
good.
presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything on this.
All right,
Tremendous.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Mitch.
Romeo. Agenda item 10, action items. 10A, appointment of the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services and Operations, and approval of employment agreement. Superintendent Aurelio.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce for your approval our new Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations, Mr. Ruben Fernandez. He's in the audience with his lovely family. Mr. Fernandez joins us from the Los Gatos Saratoga Union High School District, where he was serving as Assistant Superintendent of Business and as CBO. In his role with Los Gatos Saratoga, Mr. Fernandez was responsible for both the business side as well as the non-instructional operations departments. We are excited for Mr. Fernandez to join our team. His targeted start date is April 7th, 2025, so we don't have a long time to wait. And Mr. Fernandez, would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, Governing Board, Superintendent Aurelio. I'm truly honored to have the opportunity to serve the Vallejo City Unified School District, and I believe that every decision we make in the business and operations side of the house should ultimately support student success. And I'm committed to ensuring our resources are used strategically, excuse me, reasonably and equitably to create the best learning environments for our students. I look forward to collaborating with the leadership team, teachers, certificated and classified staff, and building a strong foundation for our schools. Thank you, Governing Board and Superintendent Aurelio, for the opportunity. I look forward to joining the team, and thanks to my family for coming out and supporting me tonight. So, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming so we can meet you as well. President Amboy.
It's only a fair question to ask, only because I asked Superintendent Aurelio the same question when we first hired him. Giants or A's? Thank you.
We need a motion for approval. Trustee Flores?
Sorry, I got sidetracked. Make a motion to, adopt, approve the recommendation of hiring?
Here, a second. Vice President Amboy?
Well, I guess I have to approve another Dodgers fan, so I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges is absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
The motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Welcome to Vallejo. I do want to clarify something, though. In the media, there was a misrepresentation. John Glidden put out something in the media that this district is looking to increase and add a new position to our district office, which is false. We are actually taking 2 positions that we currently have and merging them into 1 position. So let me say it again, just so Mr. Glidden and the public can hear me. We have 2 positions that we currently have are actually being merged into 1 position, saving money and downsizing management within the district. So I just want to make sure that's clarified, that we are being represented appropriately, that we're not adding a new position. We are and we're not, but we're replacing 2 with 1. Thank you. All right, with that, now we're on 10B.
Okay, trustees, so this item here is a letter, and I'm asking for approval from the board. This district is requesting that the board approve a letter in compliance with Education Code 56307. This letter is a formal notice of intent to join the Solano County SELPA and disband the Vallejo City Unified School District single SELPA. So we are currently a single SELPA, and we're going to be asking if the board approves to join the county-wide SELPA. Just for reference, this does not guarantee that we would become part of the countywide. This is just the first step in the process. We request that they consider our addition, and then there's a whole process. The timeline of the process is a minimum of 1 year and 1 day. So it's a long process before we will know if we are part of a countywide SELPA or we remain as our individual single SELPA.
Thank you, Superintendent Aurelio. Vice President Empoy, do I see your finger by your button?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 10B.
Thank you. But Trustee Young, second. Do we have roll call, please?
Trustee Hodges is absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young? Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
Motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you. Trustee Flores?
Sorry, I just wanted to have you, Superintendent Aurelio, clarify the reasoning behind this? Because I've been on a few SELPA calls in the past. You know, we have a lot of families that participate in it, so I just want to make sure that they're understanding that it's not a disbanding. It's not, we're not taking away from
Correct.
from the SELPA. So I know that you explained it to me, but if you could give the
So some of the history
community.
behind why we, as a district, are a single SELPA. So we've all heard over the past 20-plus years, the size of this district has decreased. So we were over 22,000. I've heard upwards of 24,000 students at one point. When that was the case, it made sense to be a single SELPA where we held all the services for special education locally and centrally here. We are now under 9,000 students. We are no longer the largest school district in the county. In fact, we're third or fourth in size in the county. But right now, we hold all the special education services for our students. By joining a county-wide SELPA, we share in that responsibility. So we would get access to the additional services that the county has, and vice versa, we would support the county in that process as well. So we would still keep our special education services. The majority of our services that remain at the school sites would continue, but we would get greater service and support, everything from litigation, alternative dispute resolution, professional learning would be held at the SELPA level. It also allows our SELPAs or director or current special education director would be able to focus primarily on the services here and not have to be pulled to do SELPA duties.
That clarification. We are now on agenda item 10C. Dr. Patrick.
Good evening, President Fox, Vice President Amboy, Trustees Young, Flores, Simmons, Morales, staff, Superintendent Aurelio. I have several items before you this evening, so I'll just let you lead me and I'll go in order.
Item C is the paid internship credential program for National University and Vallejo City Unified School District.
Okay, my item C shows the Scoot education. So do we have the same?
So Scoot, the items that were C and D were moved to consent, Scoot and Swing.
Thank you.
That's the, sorry.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank
So
you.
you're,
Okay.
you're on items, the item C in front of us in the agenda is the
I'll wait
National
till you-
University. So I think from that point forward, you'll be in line.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. Yes, so I am asking for approval of the paid internship credential program between National University and the Vallejo City Unified School District. We currently have several teachers who are going through National to get their credentials, so this would allow them to continue with our district.
Vice President Amboy. Question, Trustee Young?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, the question that I have is, what is the retention rate of the interns that we allow to come into our system to do the practice in order to get their credentials? What is the retention that we keep them in and keep them?
Well, when we look at our data that we usually have to prepare for as a part of when we're looking at the success for our LCAP, we typically look at teacher retention. And I think when I did the presentation at the beginning of the year, I can't remember exactly offhand, but I think it was in the 90, I think it was like 91%. So in terms of specific interns, I don't have that I don't have that actual percentage, but I can certainly, do some research and pull that for you. But our overall retention rate for all teachers was at, I think, 91% when I presented for you in the fall of this year.
The reason why I was asking that, Vallejo has been an ATM machine for so long. I just want to make sure that we reap the benefits of the product that we produce here. I'm just tired of Vallejo being an ATM machine. You put your card in, and then you get your money out, and then you go spend it where you want to.
Yes.
I feel that there should be some kind of accountability when they come in here and, some kind of, retention that would keep them here, or a contract that will allow them to work a certain amount of years because we put in the time for them, we put in the foundation for them to be a credentialed teacher. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
true.
main thing about not just this program, but all programs that are internship.
Yeah,
Weird.
I think we can absolutely look into that. And what I can do is see if I can pull that data so we can see exactly where we are. And then if we need to identify some ways to put some criteria in to support retaining them. I know we want to retain all of our really exceptional teachers. So absolutely.
And the other question that I have that, since this district is a minority majority, what is what is the minority majority rate of the teachers that come in here in order to be, trained, in order to teach our children? Is it reflective of our district or what?
When we try to be, really thoughtful about our population, the students that we serve, and we try to make sure that we have teachers that reflect that. But we do still sometimes have challenges as, due to the
Oh, yeah, of course.
shortage in terms of who is going into the profession. But we're trying to be really intentional to make sure that it's balanced and that the teachers that are in front of our students are reflective. So like we've identified some schools where we need to work on having just different teachers of our various ethnic groups in our community. So we have a plan to address some of that.
There's some other questions, but I'll get with you. I won't waste the time. I won't waste the time right now, that I'm really concerned about. But
Absolutely.
anyway, thank you.
You're welcome.
Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to make a motion to approve 10C.
Trustee Young? Your roll call?
Trustee Hodges absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young? Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
Motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Now we're on
thank you.
agenda item 10D, adoption of resolution 5039, criteria for determining seniority for those employees with the same date of hire.
Yes, this item, actually, the next item after it is why we need this item, because we are reducing in particular kinds of services. So what this essentially allows us to do is to, if teachers have the same hire date, we go through the criteria that is outlined in the contract and that is agreed upon with our, with VEA. And it allows us to pick, when we have that occur, because sometimes it does happen. So I am asking for adoption of Resolution 5039, criteria for determining seniority of those employees with the same date of hire.
Trustee Flores?
I make a motion for adoption of resolution number 5039.
Vice President Amboy?
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
The motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you.
Tell me. Now we're on 10, action item E, adoption of resolution 5037 to decrease the number of certificated positions due to reduction of particular kinds of services.
Yes, so as you know, we submitted in our last board meeting specific positions for reduction, especially due to closure and consolidation and just reducing due to declining enrollment. So what I am asking for now is adoption of resolution number 5037 to decrease the number of certificated positions due to reduction in particular kinds of services.
Dr. Patrick, can I just ask, so we heard earlier from one of our bargaining groups, the question about why these numbers don't match up from the last one. Could we just provide a little background on why that is?
Yes, that was the comment for classified. Do you want me to wait until I get to that item? And then I can speak directly to that list? Okay.
So we'll hear that in a moment, but right now we need a motion for this. Trustee Flores?
Make a motion to adopt resolution 5037.
Dr. Young?
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges is absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young? Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
And Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
The motion passes 4 with 1 absent.
Thank you.
For this next item, we have agenda item 10F, adoption of resolution 5036 to decrease the number of classified positions. This is one with the explanation.
Yes, absolutely. So in our last board meeting, the board took action to approve the closure of 2 schools. As a result of the closure, we went back and did a final glance, because once the board takes action, we have to identify what positions are going that are attached to that program, and if there are any other positions that are connected in some way or in some other funding source that is going away. And so as a result of that process, we identified an additional, I believe it was 21 point ... FTE. And so the original number that we brought to you was increased by the additional FTE. So to give you an example, I believe you might see 2 after-school coordinators, because we're closing 2 schools. So in our original proposal to you, we did not have those positions included. So it's positions that are directly attached, and also that might have been attached to a funding source that no longer exists.
We do have 2 comment cards for this item. Want to take those
I
now?
have a question.
Okay.
Okay,
I was looking on the FTEs.
yes, I'll turn to it.
Your microphone.
Custodians,
Your
7
microphone.
custodians.
Yes, we added,
That's two.
there were some custodial positions that were attributed to, one-time funds, and we were, heavily staffed. And so some were reduced to that, and then we identified at each school site, there's a night person and a daytime person. So that's 4 additional custodians that would be attached to closure and consolidation.
And you have also 8 site safety supervisors.
Again, the recommendation was to make some reductions due to declining enrollment, as well as attachments to those closure and consolidation. We really used our one-time funds, our COVID funds, our additional one-time dollars to make sure that we enhanced our schools with staff because of the needs at the time. But now that those funding sources no longer exist, we have to reduce.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Yes, you're welcome. Superintendent, you want me to sit down and then come back up? Okay.
So, we have 2 comment cards for this item, Star Constantino and Aubrey Constantino.
Who do you want first?
Star? That's the order I got them in, so.
Good evening, board member and superintendent. Thank you for giving me a quick moment of your time today. My name is Star Cosentino, and I'm currently a freshman at Jesse Bethel High School. I'm here to talk about the impact that the site safeties have not only made on myself, but all the other kids that go to school in Vallejo. I've been going to school in Vallejo for all my life. Through those times, there have been many fights through students and parents, but all those times we never had to worry it would go too far because our site safeties were always here. As soon as I get onto my school's campus, the site safeties are always there to greet us with a good morning and have a nice day. The impact that some of these site safeties have on these students are like none other. The site safeties build bonds with these students that other authorities can't. The site safeties make us feel safe and like we have someone to talk to that actually understands us. I understand that there needs to be budget cuts, but our safety should be prioritized. Many of my friends have been moved to schools in different towns because of the safety issues in Vallejo. The safety of the students are always prioritized by their guardians. Getting rid of these site safeties will not only put doubt into the kids, but also into their parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. Thank you for giving me a moment of your time today. My name is Aubrey Cosentino. I'm a former VCUSD student and a current site safety at Patterson Elementary. I have a question. Whenever you walk onto a campus in Vallejo, who greets you first? A site safety. We not only ensure that the school site is safe, but we also make sure that every student and parent or guardian that comes onto our campus knows that their kid is safe. Here in Vallejo, safety is a common concern among parents, and knowing that site safeties can and will be removed from the site will give them doubt about sending their students to our schools. And with current parents being worried about their safety, it may scare off new parents from wanting to enroll their students in our school. As a mother of one former and one current VCUS student, I would be very concerned knowing that there was not somebody on campus whose sole job was to make sure that my child and all of the children at that school were safe every day. As site safeties, we see all students on their good days, on their bad days. We are the ones that they can talk to, the ones that they can count on to be at school every day, rain or shine. They see us when they get there and they see us when they leave. We truly do put our lives on the line for every kid on every campus that we are at. We love our job. We want to keep our job, and we want to keep the kids safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what you have before you is adoption of resolution number 5036 to decrease the number of classified positions.
We have a motion? Vice President Amboy?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, resolution 5036.
Flores? Roll call,
Sorry,
please.
second.
Trustee Hodges is absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young? Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
And Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
And the motion passes 4 with 1 trustee absent.
Thank you. Superintendent Aurelio, did you also move the last item, or is that?
No, G is there, which is the collective bargaining agreement.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, thank you. So what you have before you is the approval of the successor collective bargaining agreement between the Vallejo City Unified School District and the California School Employees Association, Vallejo Chapter number 199.
Do I hear a motion? Flores?
Motion, make a motion for approval of item 10G.
Vice President Amboy?
I second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Hodges absent. Trustee Flores?
Aye.
Trustee Young?
Aye.
Vice President Amboy?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye.
Trustee Morales?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
And the motion passes 4 with 1 trustee absent.
Thank you, Dr. Patrick.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Patrick.
you.
We're now on agenda item 11, reports. Superintendent Aurelio.
Good evening, trustees, staff, families, and community members. I want to start by acknowledging the incredible work of the African American Parent Network and the success of their Black History Month showcase at Vallejo High School. It was an honor to attend this event, which was well attended and truly highlighted the talents of our students from multiple school sites. Celebrating Black history, culture, and excellence is vital to our district, and I deeply appreciate the effort that went into making this event so impactful. As we step into March, it is Women's History Month. I want to take a moment to honor the remarkable contributions of women, past, present, and future. We continue to shape our schools, our community, and our nation. From educators and leaders to caregivers and trailblazers, the impact of women is woven into the very fabric of our society. I encourage us all to take time this month to recognize and uplift the women in our lives and in our schools who inspire, lead, and make a difference every day. I also want to recognize and congratulate two of our board trustee members, Dr. Latanya Young and Trustee Dean Hodges. They received the prestigious, that word always gets me, Black Gavel Award hosted by the Community Democratic Club of Solano County. I was able to attend this event. The award is a testament to their leadership, advocacy, and dedication to our community, so we are grateful for their continued service and vision. Additionally, I want to remind our community that tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at the Vallejo High School Theater, our Latino Parent Network is co-sponsoring the Know Your Rights event. This event is specifically designed to provide our immigrant community with essential information about their rights and the support available to them in Vallejo. Ensuring that all of our families feel informed and empowered is a priority for us. And I encourage those who can attend to take advantage of this valuable resource. The event will be facilitated in Spanish with English interpretation. Además, quiero recordar a nuestra comunidad que mañana por la tarde a las 6 en el Teatro de Vallejo High School, nuestra red de padres latinos está copatrocinando el evento Conozca sus Derechos. Este evento está diseñado específicamente para brindar a nuestra comunidad inmigrante información esencial sobre sus derechos y el apoyo disponible para ellos en Vallejo. Garantizar que todas nuestras familias se sienten informadas y empoderadas es una prioridad para nosotros y ánimo a quienes pueden asistir a aprovechar este valioso recurso. El evento será facilitado en español con interpretación en inglés. Sorry, I just wanted to read that part in Spanish for our community. This week, I'm also preparing to attend my first national conference for education by the School Superintendents Association, or AASA. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to connect with colleagues from across the country, hear about best practices, and engage in important discussions that will help us navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead. Learning from other districts and bringing back ideas to support the success of our students and staff is something I truly am excited about. Lastly, I want to stress the importance of staying focused on student success as a school and district community. We are navigating a challenging period financially, emotionally, and with the uncertainty of upcoming legislative actions. During times like these, I encourage all of us to pause, take a breath, and focus on what we can control. We must remain committed to the direction outlined in our strategic plan and guided by our pillars for excellence. By doing so, we will ensure that we continue moving forward with stability and strong commitment to our students. Thank you all for your dedication and hard work in supporting our students and community. And that's my report.
Aurelio. That we are now on board member reports. Trustee Flores?
Don't have too much to report. Just one thing, and maybe we need to get a little bit of clarity on it, Superintendent. I'm looking at the flyer for tomorrow's event, and it says 5 to 6:30 on the flyer.
Did I get the time wrong? I might have gotten the time wrong.
Okay, yeah. I just didn't know that
Sorry.
maybe they told you something else, but no, the flyer here says 5 to 6:30.
Thank you for that
At
correction.
Vallejo Auditorium.
Thank you.
So that was gonna be part of my report, so anyhow, the other thing was I was invited to speak by a community member, Mrs. Scari, at an event that she held regarding, let's discuss the decline of DEI and its impact on our community. It was an honor to be on a panel like that. World-renowned lawyer John Burris was one of the speakers. It was hosted by Supervisor Cassandra James. Our mayor, Andrew Sources, was part of the panel. We had community members Chris Kelly and Daniel Edwards. And, I just kind of want to share a little bit about what I spoke on. And when I was trying to figure out how do we connect the impact of losing DEI, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion. What does that mean, And for me, it wasn't so much the losing of the information. It's it's the questions that are asked behind that, which I think are the important things that we got to think about. Because when we start talking about creating diversity, equity, inclusion, then we have to start asking, well, why is there a lack of diversity, equity, and inclusion? What caused certain populations to be in the spaces they are today? And when we don't talk about it, then we don't have to talk about the why, and we lose that. So that's the, I think on a deeper level, that's where when we start trying to remove these conversations, and like I said that day, and really what one segment of our population is using it, DEI, CRT, they're just dog whistles for the old tropes of bigots, racist, misogynist, on and on. So I think when with the threat of federal funding being cut off to districts and that participate in diversity, equity, inclusion, I think that shouldn't be a fear to not continue to talk about it. One thing I did learn in some of this was that California, thankfully, only gets about, I think, 21% of funding from the federal government. So, sure, it's still 21%, but it's not like some of the other states that would lose a significant amount to the point that they would be willing to bow down. My words. Anyhow, yeah. So that's kind of what was going on for me these last couple weeks. Unfortunately, I was out of town for work, so I wasn't able to attend the AAPN's event. I have in the past, and I know how good it was or can be. So with that is my report.
Thank you, Dr. Young.
I had the opportunity to go to the Afro-American Parent Network program, Black History program, and I was so enlightened by the performance of the students that were in there. And I was really surprised that some of the people that I didn't know had talent. I had a good time there. I really did. And I saw a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while. But that was a very good evening. And then the next day, I even more so was overjoyed because I went back to my old school that I opened, Jesse Bethel, and was a part of their Black History program, which was very, very good also. So I had a good week this week, involved with children, and that's what we're about, making sure that they can have time to express themselves. So I enjoyed that quite a bit this week. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you. Vice President Amboy?
I do apologize for not really having a big report. I've been taking care of a lot of personal issues the last 6 months. But just more for comments, if anything. I know I recently received a Parent Square notification regarding the SATs back for April 16th. I was hoping that we can possibly get a little bit more advertising on that, because I don't think that many students, both from Bethel and John Finney as well as Vallejo High, know about that it's paid for and it's taken care of under our LCAP. So I just think hopefully we can just get the word out a little bit more, get increased enrollment, because I think it's just extremely important. Another thing that I had just more of a concern, not really concern, but it's just more for the students. At Hogan, not Hogan, at Vallejo High, the tennis courts that are just basically blacktop that is painted. Now, I know there are grants through the USTA, the United States Tennis Association, that's available. That's something that we can apply for rather than using, let's say, the Measure S money. I rather apply for a grant outside of Measure S, just to facilitate getting their courts a little taken care of. And again, and I think one of the requirements is by offering or applying for this grant for the USTA is that we have like summer clinics that's open to the public, and it's something that they do all across the United States. So I think we would be a great candidate, or Vallejo High would be a great candidate for that. And again, it would just be saving us money in rather than using Measure S money for that. And that's my comment/report.
Thank you. And for mine, Dr. Young and I attended the Solano County School Board Trustee Association, and we are looking at perhaps putting forth an ethics training for trustees throughout Solano County. It'd be a dinner and training event for ethics, probably in April or maybe in May. So we're working with each of the districts in Solano County to see the interest and the cost. So that is something we met and talked about earlier this week. We also talked about, everyone was very grateful for the reading event that we had in January, and thank you again, Ms. Tapacio, for everything. There was great comments on that, and it was very informative, and the trustees learned a lot and had a lot of information. The only feedback we got back was, please don't have so many acronyms, or please explain the acronyms. But other than that, that was that meeting that we had, and I think that's all for my report. With that, item 12, do we have?
I think Trustee Morales wanted to add something about SATs.
Oh, go ahead.
Kenny.
Vice President Amboy, I just wanted to let you know I'm more than welcome to speak about it in the school, like do a intercom, just let all the students know about it, know the day, and yeah, I'll do that.
Community forum? Okay, closed session is not needed. Announcement of upcoming meetings.
Okay, so our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be March 19th, 5 p.m. for closed, 6 p.m. for public, held here in our governing boardroom. Thursday, March 27th is the next City of Vallejo and VCUSD 2x2 committee. That has moved to I want to say the fourth Thursday of the month is now the regular schedule for that at 4:30 p.m. at the Vallejo City Council Chamber. Then we have the next set of regular board meetings in April, the 16th and 23rd. I do want to note there that they are back-to-back weeks, and that's structurally because we have our spring break at the end of March and April, so we had to condense the two meetings there. So in April, we do have back-to-back weeks of regular board meetings.
Thank you. Future board agenda items. I asked about the arts update, but hopefully that'll be coming.
That should be coming on the next meeting.
Okay. Any others? Okay. With that, anything for the good of order? We're good. We are adjourned at 7:35. Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here.